Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. This is the Grapevine. It's all about entertainment. It's Zibby here. And of course, you know it's interactive. Talk about music, movies, the arts. I mean, heck, sometimes we even talk about some people who are net famous and not for any good reason. But it's an interactive show and would love for you to be a part of it. The WhatsApp number is 0809 440 981. You can also tweet at smooth981. We're streaming live on our YouTube channel. It's smooth981. My analyst this morning is Oris, and he makes a special appearance, as always, with his hats. Good morning, Oris.
Good morning, Zibby. Good morning, Lagos, and good morning from wherever you're listening to us from.
Now, Oris, James is not here, so I know that you're going to miss him terribly. I hope you're going to be fine without James.
Oh, I'm actually quite overjoyed that he's currently washing my second house. So it's entirely fine. He's cleaning it out, taking out the cobwebs. So it gives me loads and loads of pleasure to be here without that appendage, otherwise known as James Silas.
Wouldn't it be awesome if James just walks in right now, slams the door, and says, Oris? Okay. I've been watching too many movies recently.
Then he would have to answer for the fact that he should wash in my house, you know, I'm cleaning out the cupboard from my second house, you know. So yeah, so whatever happens, he's in trouble.
Oh wow, James, be afraid, be very afraid. All right, our first story this morning has to do with the young man named Rema. Now, his Raves and Roses has surpassed 100 weeks on the Billboard 200 charts.
Wow. I guess to put it in a single sentence, calm down and refuse to calm down. Because I think we are all aware that the one record from that album that has proven to have, like, I guess, just incredibly long legs and like a very, very wide reach is Calm Down. I can't even remember so many songs from that album, to be honest. But I guess it gets to show you that a single song sometimes can elevate an album. You know, and that's the case with this particular song. Of course, it was brilliant for them to have Selena Gomez, a global superstar, on the remix. So that even catapulted the song into more popularity. So yeah, I'm from Edo State, as you are probably aware, and Rema too is from Edo State. So yes, this is a victory for all of us Edo State boys.
You're so extra, Oris. That's awesome. So, yes, that's awesome.
Beanie Boys for the win.
Yay! Okay, speaking about Beanie Boys, let's see if you're going to beat your chest when it comes to this particular Beanie Boy. Now, this particular Beanie Boy, Israel, is one of those people who is famous for it's hard to tell, for associating with a famous person. And he's also famous for consistently.
Don't be like this, Zibby.
No, but it's true. He doesn't have an official title, does he?
We don't know. Maybe we did.
If he has an official title, we would know. He would not let us forget he has a title. We just know he calls Davido Mayoga. So he's an employee or an appendage, in your words.
He's not James Silas. Anyway, what is he up to?
Well, Israel's wife, you know, Israel has been on a massive smear campaign. That's what I'd say, because, you know, every other week, you know, when he wakes up in the middle of the night and that side of the bed is empty and cold, he remembers his wife left him, and then he goes on a rant on social media. So he does this like consistently. He's probably done it for about a year or so. Well, right now, for the first time, the wife is speaking out. She had an interview, and she said she had no problems with her soon-to-be ex-husband, or, you know, her ex-husband working with Davido. She says she always cheered him on, but she just wanted him to do better. And she says that you know, she was encouraging him as a wife. But Israel, on the other hand, previously had said that his wife didn't want him to work for Davido, and she said she found his job embarrassing. But can you really blame her when there is no official job title and he's always on social media crawling on his knees saying Mayoga, Mayoga? I think any woman would be concerned. If a woman wasn't concerned, she's not a good wife.
Oh my goodness. I think the first thing to say to this is, President Zibby, you have clearly chosen a side. And let that be announced to all Smooth FM listeners that this woman currently has chosen a side. And she's chosen a side of the woman of this particular. Yes. Let's make that very, very clear.
That is not exactly true now.
You are not
I'm
taking the
reporting
side
both
of my
sides.
you are not taking the side of my fellow Edo State man. So that troubles me personally. But oh, Sheila too is from Edo State too. So in a way, I am quite in the center of this
You
issue.
are.
I am the center. Anyway, so let's see. I think the first thing is this is women and men, especially maybe it has always been like this, but especially but right now, there's just like the center cannot hold between women and men currently. what what it looks like for Sheila, that's her name,
Mm.
and Israel is like, okay, people came together for whatever reason, got married. However, within the marriage, they realized that shish, this isn't exactly the person I hoped this person would be. Or they could have gone into the marriage thinking certain things will change, but humans are not the most changing, are not the most changing
We are
of
resistant to change.
exactly. So I think that's where the miscommunication kind of began. So as concerning the interview, I think it was actually not like an interview official. She and her friend showed up online
Mm.
and were entertaining questions that had been asked her, like, I guess for a while or something. And so she was supplying answers. And of course, one of the questions that has that has what's the word come up a lot with Israel's wife has been, why did you tell your husband to stop working for Davido? As you know, people love Davido, and some people kind of think that there was a lot to be cheered in Israel's behavior towards Davido. There was a sense of loyalty. Of course, if you are a wife or if you're a certain type of woman, you might consider that loyalty to be too servile. As you pointed out a few times, there is no official title. So it feels like it's not quite an employee, more like a servant. And
Right.
for a certain type of woman, that might not be the picture or the image they want their husband to be in. You want a man who is, I guess, strong, alpha male. But think about it. You can't really be alpha male around Davido. The man is rich. The man is famous. It's not really something that you can pull off. So Israel is fine, I guess, with that. The idea that, okay, I do this, I get income. I do this, people know who I am. But it feels to me like Sheila wasn't quite on the same page. And yes, the center couldn't quite hold. In fact, I was surprised to see that video where she's talking about, because I thought she had kind of let the whole thing slide. But
Mm.
let's face it, there's a reason we're discussing Sheila right now. And the only reason that is happening is because at some point she was married to Israel.
Mm.
So, in a way, if you think about it, Sheila got something out of that arrangement. Israel feels like he has lost something out of that arrangement. So, it feels, I think,
He
honestly,
lost his virgin bride.
exactly, yes. It always feels worse when, if we left and we both lost, that would have been fine. But I think for Israel, like you said, he wakes up in the night and there's nobody at the side of the bed. And he remembers that, wait, the person who used to be here is now probably better off now that she's no longer here. And the
Mm.
reason why she's better off is because of me. I guess that as humans, there's a way that thing does to our psychology. So anytime the guy comes out, I think that's really what is what is obsessed with. That he can't get over the fact that he feels used and the girl has just moved on. Meanwhile, he is like picking up the pieces. So in a way, I sympathize with my Edo State brother. But I also understand that, what, the game is the game is the game. If it looks
Mm.
like Sheila played it, it looks like she did, frankly.
Really?
Yes, of course, I know you would disagree. So
I
I'm willing to hear.
completely 100% disagree. Oris, let's be honest. This Sheila was a young girl, probably
Yes.
well
She's still
educated.
young. She's still 22,
Yeah.
23 or something, right? 24,
So my
whatever it
thing
is.
is, when men decide to marry really young girls that are just, trying to figure out their way in life, I just find it a bit exploitative in some way, because there's always that element of, okay, you're much older, you are hanging on to a celebrity. There's always going to be that unfair power sharing. So it means one person is going to be like in charge, like completely in charge, right? And that was not quite the
Okay.
case. So I think Israel might feel like, do you know what? This girl played me, but she probably didn't. She just had a good head on her shoulders. She decided to get
I
married
wait,
early,
and that
a
is wait,
church
no,
girl.
Zibby. Zibby, I fear that, like I said, your bias is creeping. You
No.
said she had a good head on her shoulders.
Right.
Then, why did she take the plunge in the first place?
Now, according to the sources, her parents were heavily involved. Her father was the one who convinced her to marry Israel because her father liked Israel. So this is one thing where, these external parties get involved in marriages. It's those two people who are stuck with each other at the end of the day, right? So she probably, young girl, okay, I'm obedient to my father. My father thinks this is a good man. And she went in and then, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to see their husband, right? The crown of the home, hopping around on social media, rolling on the floor, doing some really questionable things that makes you wonder, like, come on. And this is someone who grew up in a church who was sort of conservative. So I don't even know how they thought this was going to work because they seem to be two different people from two very different worlds.
Yeah, but we cannot we cannot infantilize Sheila, frankly, because she wasn't 18, she wasn't even 19, I think, at the point in which she got married to this particular person. And Israel's antics, Israel's rolling on the floor antics were always at the forefront of his internet personality. As you know, a lot of his the reason why we know him is because we've seen him and his excessive adoration of his boss. You understand? So there was nothing that he's done, at least so far, minus the things that have happened in
Right.
their house, which we have no idea of, that
That's true.
wasn't what's the word, clear and obvious to anybody who was going to get hitched with him. So this is the
That's
reason why
true.
I feel like, yes, to talk about Sheila's relative on involvement is a little weird because the lady seems to be quite the citizen of the internet. And if you are, you know that this is who Israel is. So to get into that, we hear all of the time about how men marry women who are out there, who go to clubs and everything, and they're trying to change them, and how that
Right,
doesn't really
right.
work, and how that's a bad thing.
Right.
Suddenly, there's a man who he's in love with his boss, who is always willing
In
to
love
like
with his
show how.
boss. That is the problem.
Yes,
He's
no,
in
but the
love
point is
with
this.
his boss.
Yes, who is always willing to show how much a lot of deference to this particular person called Davido. You know this for a fact, and somehow you get in less than a year or thereabout, you are attempting to like alter that. There has to be a pushback from this person because this is the life he's
Right.
known all of the while. So I
Wow.
think, yeah, it's both ways. If we complain about men trying to change women who are out there, then
Right.
we cannot quite exactly accept this from what Sheila was trying to do. So anyway, that's
I
just
see
my
what
two
you mean.
cents.
I see what you mean, Oris. I absolutely do. Let's see. Ojo Lakbe says, President Zibby, stop now. What was Israel's job before they got married? Please stop. Oh, that's the thing. We don't know. Was there a title? He's never said this is my road
Why you
manager. He's
refer to
never
him?
said, sorry?
He serves his boss the end.
He serves his boss. So that's an element of servitude right there because you cannot be serving
No, no, but
someone.
think about it. You have public servants, you have civil servants, you have individual servants. How is that strange?
Oh my days, Oris, you're something else. Did you hear it, Afiz? Did you hear it? Oris just said public servants, civil servants, Davido servants. So we know where Israel falls under. Okay. Taya says, I had to swim around Lagos to get to the Grapevine. Zibby with the setup for Oris. James will be somewhere saying, Yay! Israel's job description is not even known to his employer. But here we're here with Lady Sheila observing his doings. Israel is now quarreling with Davido's lawyer because of photo cropping. Oris is only standing for his kinsman. Afghanistan, even Uzbekistan. How is Israel's action being questionable? Let's see. There was a message earlier. This one is from Wanko Anthony, and he said, Oris, let James breathe, though. Angel said he's
We don't
Davido's
breathe.
aide. And Ed would be with Davido 247. Israel doesn't seem to be around Davido 247. Daisy says Oris is savage. See, and Oris was trying to make me look like the bad one, not knowing he was coming with some bazookas. You're listening to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. Stay with us. The conversation continues on the other side. Man, that guy's behavior, Sha. Don't blame the wife, Sha.
Of course, what else would I expect? I don't want to say. Of course, you say that you don't blame the wife. I'm
No,
not
as a
surprised, President
man,
Ziggy.
you have to have some kind of dignity, right?
But wait now, but think about it. In the country we currently belong to, how much is dignity worth?
Oh wow.
No,
Damn.
no, yeah, it's a thing to think about. Think about it. Like, how much dignity was if Israel, we don't know whatever skills or education he has. If
Yeah.
Israel was in his house, saying to himself that, you know what, I cannot be this person to this person. Do you think Sheila would have even attempted to even look his way if that was the case? You know, so it's tricky. You can say anything about dignity, you get, but if there's no
Yeah.
income in Nigeria, my guy, the banks will not accept your dignity as a checo. You know, you cannot carry a Ghana must go of dignity and come to give them at any of our banks and say, hey guys, receive this, so credit me. You get, it's not going to happen. So the man has figured out this is his job. He does it the best way he possibly can. And here's a woman who is saying, you know what, my guy, I noticed it because of this job, but however, I want you to change it. Nigeria, you will suffer. So yeah. So I understand what you say. Of course, you want a man who is sophisticated and everything, but
Yeah.
we won't all have that man. There are only like maybe like 10 of them, and they're like, you know, we were trying to look for them. So
They
you
say
don't
it's
understand
tough
why they
out
be
there.
do. You said.
It's tough out now to get those
Yes.
men.
Remember, we've had two marriages that have been quite popular over the past, I guess, few weeks. If we know has like children from other women and has like several affairs over the years. The other person has married three other women before now. So you understand, like men who have this value, they seem to attract more women. All I'm saying.
That's true. Huh. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. I'm sure Israel will use this weekend to reply Sheila.
You
Back
know,
to
he
back.
has already done a video, by the way, where
Oh
he's
my
dancing
days.
and singing a particular song there.
He wasn't gonna let it slide. Oh my
Never,
goodness.
never.
Oh wow. All right, we're coming on. It's the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. It's Zibby with you this morning. And of course, Oris is here as well. Let us know your thoughts. It's all about entertainment this morning. 0809 440 That's the WhatsApp number. We're also streaming live, so you can catch the live stream on our YouTube channel, it's Smooth 981. Now you can even post a comment on there as well. Oris, okay. Let's move on from the video and let's move on to another young man who says, well, despite all the season of marriages or people getting married over the past few weeks, he says, look, I have been single since 2008. He says that he was 18 the last time he was in a relationship. And he says because, he's just not ready for women and their wahala. Okay, I added that bit, but
This is false, right?
yes, Falz.
Um, I want to say that this is from a position of privilege. Because
Why?
let's face it, no, because what Falz is saying is that he hasn't been in a relationship, I guess in a committed relationship, in a labeled relationship. He's not saying that he has been celibate, right?
Different thing, yes.
So what this means is yes, this man is speaking from a position of abundance. And there's something older women would say, or well, maybe older people, older women, older men, I don't know. Somebody will say anyway about how if you can get the milk, why buy the cow?
Mm,
You understand? So
yeah.
yes, in my what Faust is saying to me or to us is over the past, I don't know how many years, I have been able to get the milk, and I have not quite seen how important. Nothing that nobody has made me feel like it is important to get the cow so I can get the
Mm.
milk. I've just been able to figure out how to, hey, get into this compound, make a little bit, get into that compound, make a little bit. But I have refused to purchase a cow and bring it into my home. So that's exactly what is. So I can't really feel this is not something to be feeling. I don't know. Sorry for the man who is unable to find commitment. It's not true. It's simply it's a false problem, and it's a problem that's coming from privilege. Rich kids, super famous. He's fine. He's fine. If we had to put a moratorium and say, hey, if you have to put a specific embargo on all milk and say, hey, you must get a cow to get the milk, I can assure you that this, since I was 18, I haven't had a cow. I will not be the king of Falz.
That is true. Very likely.
So anyway, yeah,
Very likely.
that's my entire thing about it. Like, I get what he's saying, but yes, it's speaking from a position of extreme abundance. So he doesn't have to do anything. Everybody else has to commit. Falz doesn't.
Oh, wow. The joys of being young, rich, and famous. Okay. Now this is very interesting. Now, Thames has at the BT Awards, Thames actually did go on to win a best gospel or inspirational song. She actually got this with the 2024 release of Me and You. Now, the interesting thing is not only did she win a gospel award, considering she is a non-gospel singer, she actually beat out traditional, well-known and respected gospel acts like Kirk Franklin, CeCe Winans, and Erica Campbell from the group Mary Mary to actually win this. And the world is like, wait, what is going on?
This is why very few people, in fact, nobody, up until this year, I think for the past few years, the BET Award has been in a slump, in a heavy slump. This year, for some reason, they've had there was a lot of buzz around the BET Awards this year, which is good. I'm happy that Black entertainment is getting this kind of attention. But frankly, with this kind of ridiculous decisions, I see exactly why nobody's taking them seriously, because you cannot take Me and You is a freaking love song, man. How are you taking that as the
Well, they said
winner?
gospel or inspirational / inspirational.
But love songs are not even inspirational. That's like basic R&B, if you must, you understand? Or
Right.
Afrobeat, what you want to call it. But you cannot say that's inspirational or gospel, especially not when people who actually sing gospel and inspiration songs are in the category and nominated alongside. It wasn't a case of they did not nominate them. They are right there. You understand? So, so it's ridiculous. When I saw it, I was like, wait, it's clear to me what has happened. The group behind the BETs have decided that, you know what, this is anyway, I think we kind of know, this is the African woman's year. For a long time, we haven't quite had African women popping up internationally the way they have over the past 12, 18 months. So
right.
We have to respect that and recognize that and award that. That's the only reason why Thames is even showing up there. Let's face it, the album she's released, at least from the very first single, hasn't quite caught on, I guess, the way people expected it would. First things first. That's the truth. I mean, people want to argue with it. Thames fans want to argue, but that's the truth. It hasn't quite caught on. So something like this is, for me, just engineered. People speak a lot about people certain artists being industry plants. It feels to me like this is just like a clear case. Why is she winning a gospel / so there are two reasons why. Like I said, one, Thames is not even a gospel / inspirational singer. She's not, But I'm guessing that because of the Black Panther song that she wrote for Rihanna, you can sneak her in one way or the other. She had that song, That Lift Me Up, which was kind of inspirational.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even a song, to the Rihanna song. She just wrote it, So first things first, she doesn't belong category as an artist. Secondly, the song itself is not in that particular genre. So why are you awarding it to her? So yes, I understand people who say this. They are 300,000% correct to query the BET's choice of this. Unfortunately, it has been done. And when in 10 years' time, we look at the list of people who won in 2024 BETs, we'll see Thames there. It's still going to be incongruous even in 100 years. But the fact of the matter is that she's entered into record books. And so that's why I say award bodies need to understand how important their job is. I feel like many of them, even back here, by the way, in Nigeria, do not understand how important what they do is. And that's why you have this kind of stupid, silly mistakes.
Wow.
Anyway, but I understand,
like I said, it's more political. Could this affect her negatively in any way?
Of course not. No, I think it's positive for her, because when next we are going to speak about Thames, you say BET award winner, right?
Right.
Yeah. So for her, there is nothing. What it has done is the credibility. Like I said, it was already winning.
Right, it was.
It comes into more question, because now you understand that what is happening here isn't merely an artistic appreciation. What is happening here is political. Because
Absolutely.
the same, what's her name? Tyler also won this year. Of course, yeah, she also had of course, it's not like ours is not quite controversial. But my point is that two African women who the world is trying to prop up into a particular space got awards at the BET Awards. There's clearly an agenda. I think it's clear.
Wow. I really miss those days of BET. The programming was so good. It was the thing that people looked forward to for Black people by Black people. But I mean, all that has
You know,
changed
but
now.
I think they're getting it back because, like I said, this year was really, really. I haven't seen the BT pop like this online or elsewhere in a very, very, very long time. So in a way, they're getting it back. But with stuff like this, you understand why they would decline again, frankly.
Let's see. Anthony says, Sam's won the BET Awards 2024 for a gospel song. Congratulations, but I need more clarity, please. You know, it's one of those things that no matter how hard anyone tries, it will never really make sense. So,
It's just
I mean,
not possible.
yeah. Taya says that guy is getting the milk, not the cow. He's able to separate socioeconomic issue of want and need. Oh my goodness. Yo, how do you think of these things? Taya says, like I said, Thames winning best gospel inspiration means love me, JJ might mean love me, Jesus. Oh my goodness. Taya,
It's true.
log
After
off right
that's
now.
remember Tiwa Savage told us that somebody's song was about Jesus.
Oh
Do you remember that?
wow. I
Yes, she
remember.
did say that. Yes, the song with Brandy. She said it was somebody's song was Jesus.
Oh my
So
goodness. Wow.
that kind of
This,
twisting logic is what
I mean, I
ability
can't
people
even wrap my
are
head
trying to
around
use.
it. This her trajectory is doing everyone somehow, or is it part of the inspiration? From Golden Child of R&B, James is not even an R&B singer. I don't know. From Golden Child of R&B to gospel and inspiration, I hope we'll see her the experience or something like that. At this rate, Portable will win big at the VETs. Ali said they said there's a part in the Me and You lyrics that had a quote from the Bible or something, but that's still not enough reason for her to win that category. All right. We're almost out of time, but let's run through a few more stories. 0809 The Ghanaian chef who made a self-announcement, proclaimed himself the new Guinness World Record holder for the longest cookathon, has been arrested and detained at a police station for falsifying the record. In fact, Guinness World Records has come out to say, look, this guy, we don't know him. He hasn't broken the record. At this point, is the Guinness, the association, are they going to just say, you know what, let's blacklist not just Nigerians now, but all sub-Saharan Africa?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think was it last year or 2 years ago? There was a time where the Economist I think it was the Economist. There was a particular headline about how Africa is the problem of the world or something like that. Something like that. There was a very interesting headline where people were really angry that they were labeling Africa like this. But when I see things, I'm just like, you know what? Sub-Saharan Africa like is the dysfunctional capital of the world, man. Because I don't even understand it. Like this guy, I mean, he had celebrities at this stuff. Then he went ahead to like forge. I am just like, the thing is mind-boggling. Then again, I don't even understand why the police are arresting him either. Why is such a big
Because it's
deal that
forgery, though. Forgery is actually a crime.
yes, but no, no, my point is that okay, I understand what you're saying, but look, it's not the Interpol, right? Which is the international police. It is the Ghanaian police that are arresting this guy for something he has done that is contravening a European, maybe an American brand. I don't even know. Okay,
Well,
the
he
UK, is it
committed the
British? I think
crime in
it's
Ghana.
British. I think it's British. Guinness
Yes,
World
it
Record is
is.
British. They moved it to American. Whichever. Anyway, a Western brand. So my point is that you've done it about a Western brand. What concerns the Ghanaian police? What is that?
Well,
Why are
he
they
forged
interested in?
something. He went online and, it's like committing
But
a
it did
crime
not
and
have
returning to
anything
the
that
scene
has.
of the crime.
Yes. Wait, but the G in GWR, it means
Mhm.
Guinness. It doesn't mean Ghana. Why are they interested?
I guess they're trying to maybe set a precedent like, look, you cannot soil the name of this country. You can't internationally lie, misrepresent yourself, and do that from Ghana because at the end of the day, our reputation is at stake. But I mean, you have to
Okay,
be
so
bold to do something like
anyway,
this.
yeah, I think it's a funny story from top to bottom, ridiculous and just I don't know. Africa gives me a headache, frankly. Even me, I'm just like, man, these people, yeah, my people are killing me.
All right. Speaking about headaches, though, this is our last story. Diddy is trying to get rid of his mansion in LA. That's a huge headache on his hands right now. He bought it 10 years ago, 40 million, and he's selling it or he's trying to sell it for 70 million. Remember, this is one of the homes that Homeland Security actually raided. Do we think Diddy is trying to pass ownership on to someone else so they won't dig and find a few skeletons, if you know what I mean?
Probably that's the bigger picture. But there's an immediate one. Diddy's if you read there was a deep dive into his finances by Forbes magazine. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. So in a way, Diddy's fortune is in shambles. So I can understand if he needs like cash right here, right now.
Those lawyers.
So that's the immediate picture. So the bigger one can say, okay, if he's transferred ownership, then there might not be quite maybe it might be possible for the police to no longer dig deep into what's in that particular place because it's no longer Diddy's, But I think immediately the man probably needs cash because yes, I think his partnership with a drink brand is in tatters. He had to step down from Revolt. So in a way, the man needs something to show up. And he probably needs to be moving around, doesn't he? Right? So that will not catch him one shot. So yes, money would come in quite handy for the guy. So I think there are two reasons why. There's immediate one with cash at hand, then the bigger one about the police raids.
Do you think Diddy might pull a Russell Simmons very soon?
Yes, but the difference between Russell Simmons's position and Diddy's at the moment, at least, is that Diddy hasn't been charged. So what's happening now?
Hasn't been charged either.
But I feel like Russell, there's been too much. Anyway, I
don't think there's as much evidence in Russell's case as Diddy's. That videotape was like the final nail.
Yes, well, no, I feel like Russell is like Polanski. If he shows up into immediately, it's going to be picked. Diddy is still in my mind. I think the photo of showing Diddy in Miami. Diddy is still a free man.
Acting like everything is good.
It's not quite the same thing, but I think yes, if there's a little bit of heat on Diddy and he senses that Wahala one bust, I think he would actually flee, and especially if he is able to sell off something like this and there's a lot of money in it. I think he can afford to to leave. So we don't know yet because, like I said, what is happening now is Diddy is being crucified in the public space, but legally, the man hasn't been charged.
That's true. All right, let's see. Tayo says, a chef being cooked without ingredients. The never-ending story of Diddy needs to raise money for his atrocities, expose him. Angel says, what if the entire incident was engineered by the Ghanaian to catapult him to shortcut fame? It definitely worked, and it also landed him in the slammer. So let's see if that fame was worth it. That is all the time that we have for the Grapevine this morning. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your messages. And of course, special thanks to Oris for joining us and being fabulous as always.
Yes, I remember. It's catch Oris on Twitter and catch Orisgram on the Instagrams.
And you can catch the YouTube show. It's the James and Oris show on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yes.
All right, do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast.